Yeah, I'm sorting it out, guys. Can you hear me? Hopefully the mic works, right? Yeah. See the timer for you. Bam. Yeah. Oh, this is very loud. From it there. You hear me, right? So how's it going in Demon? How's it going in Elden Ring? I already beaten it. It's too easy. Ah, good. You know, I'm nervous since last time. Yeah, that was just crazy, right? I'm nervous since that episode. Yeah, when it didn't work. But there we go. Timer's up and everything. Yeah, it's starting in a moment now. So have you beaten Elden Ring yet? Because that was, for me, it was way too easy. Come on, you know how... I do think it was too easy. Because the last boss was just like... With my build, I was like, no way, man. This guy is just punch until he dies. It was easy, probably. Bit low. That probably is me. I talked louder. I can't get it to be higher. But yeah, I can even stop any second now. Maybe stop chat. Maybe this one is better. What? Sorry, no. I'm not rushing it. Come on. We'll go through that later then. Yeah, so starting on that channel now. So it should be any second now. It has started on the other channel, so probably after this commercial break. Ah, come on, still more commercial break. But I guess you have more than one character then. You have to have more character, I guess, you're jumping back and forth, I guess then. Here we go. But yeah, Bale made no sense to me. I don't know, the dragon thing was just like whatever, right? Alright, Todoroki. Oh my god, the Todoroki family. Bam, baby. Let's bring it up. Yeah, of course we're gonna talk about Dabi. This episode should be an Endower episode, right? So, and you know, I just finally made my video defending Endower, so I'm happy about that. I did earlier this week. Oh yeah, they're recapping. Okay, this is recap because they're recapping. They're recapping when he beats his brother, being like, "Yeah, I have friendship. You don't have friendship, Dabi." Yeah, that's true, I guess. But he also was like coma, so poor guy. But yeah, they use recapping. I mean, it's a little unfortunate, right? But every episode is like 2-3 minutes recap. So it's probably recap into opening. Yeah, so now it's like, you know, this is exact same like last episode. And that's probably opening, and then probably we get the actual episode, right? Yeah, very much so. 10 characters, that's a lot. But have you seen my build? That's the only build that matters. My build I did yesterday. That's the build you actually need to beat the game. Of course we like Davor and Paul, because they're well-written fathers, because they're terrible parents. That's how they were this. This is recapping. It goes opening. I called it, obviously, it goes opening. But yeah, it is very unfortunate in this anime here that we can basically start the stream, right, minute 4, 5, whatever, bare minimum, because they always do a recap, then do the opening, and usually no commercial break after opening, as the modern does. But, you know, it's gonna be like at least 2-3 minutes until the episode actually starts, right? Kinda like that. Yeah, I know. But that video, unfortunately, doesn't have many views yet. Paul video is, I mean, it's not super well, but it's way better at least. At least picked up a little bit by the algorithm. But it's unfortunate because there's no other character than Papa Endower, right? That has so much shit on him. Yeah, there's no other character in in anime that has so much terrible, like, you know, like, there's no other character in anime that has so much BS, right, with Endower. My favorite BS with Endower, though, which I mentioned in the video, of course, is when people acting like he art his wife, like the wife wasn't part of this, like, you know, arranged marriage, which is insane, because that logic means that any princess, right, any kind of female in the history of mankind, basically, were ordained by the husband, because obviously arranged marriage was super common in the past. Like, arranged marriage was extremely common in Japan, especially because it's a feudal country, right? So mostly, like, you know, Japan and rest of Europe, right, were feudal societies, right? So it really means, like, oh, so, like, it's insane, it's insane. That in our hate is probably classist. Like, oh, the wife didn't want to have shit with him, something. Like, of course she did. She married him objectively because she knew that they wanted to make a quirk marriage thing. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've heard. People hating that thing. And that is a lot, because there's so much Endower hate. But anyway, here it finally... Maybe it finally... Now it kind of starts for real here. Yeah, now it starts for real. Yeah, now the recap... The recap is over! Recap is over! Yattare! Yeah, everyone's like, woo! Getting happy here. Oh yeah, they're fighting this giant Zombie. Yeah, it's gonna have a giant Zombie here. It's pretty good though, that everyone's getting like riled up, everyone's like, yeah, Dabi's down! And everyone feels happy here and they can beat the Nomu. And all these like random low level heroes are all getting excited to fight. But the Nomu doesn't look that dangerous though, it's just that Godzilla guy. He looks mostly like a giant dude, right? Yeah, so they can probably defeat him by random powers. And of course All Might is like, yes, Todoroki-san. Yeah, of course, Deku still is a wrong place, right? But, yeah, we need more Burning, man. You know, Burning is a great character too. But she's like a fun character too, right? I remember the Yellowstone on Bakugo getting some jokes with Mirko, yeah. Okay, here we go. Now it finally says the title of the episode, Extras. Now it starts. Yeah, it finally has the title. Okay, now it starts. At minute 4.45. Okay. Now it really starts. Yeah, this is gonna be Endower, right? Here we go. I'm waiting for, guys. My Papa Endower fight. Maybe. Because now it's like Ashido doing something. Oh, Mineta, best character. What's he doing? I don't know. He beat someone, I guess. Oh yeah, this guy got good powers though. Obviously he's like... This is actually probably one of the best powers, right? It's like submersive earth power thing. They can use... Mountain Lady, oh my god, so waifu finally. This is a pretty good like team fight. Yeah, they got like... The guy that can make the whole planet turn into like mud or something. And they got a giant lady stepping on them. This is like good, like, you know, against a lot of enemies. Yeah, this is like the AoE fight. Yeah, but you know how we talk about a lot, right? The art of the anime hero, he's great at making female waifu characters, and then it kills them off. Yeah, he's like that habit. He's like, oh, Lady Nagant, also pretty hot. Ah, she died. She's like dead or something in prison. Yeah, whatever. He's like, okay, great. No, Social Stripes. Ah, whatever. She's dead. Yeah, like, okay, thanks. But he's back. My God, it's the Bakugo dude. It's the Bakugo, yeah. Then some hammer time guy. But it's the guy that episode 1, the slime dude. Oh, she's gonna remember. Oh, this is the guy that killed Midnight Sensei. Revenge time! Oh yeah, of course, Red Riot is there. We know we shipped them. Reddo! Yeah, come on. We know they just ship. Red Riot-chan! Yeah, come on. They're gonna have some love story here. But I guess this is the guy that killed Midnight Sensei. Given what he said there, I guess so. Okay, but I see, yeah, I want to see Endower though. Why am I Papa Endower? Come on. Maybe now then. It's gonna be like every other character until we get Papa Endower, right? Yeah, he hears what he loves the most. He does hear what he loves the most. There is something weird with him, Jesus Christ. Okay, we have the Senju tape. Okay, oh, this is back to Bakugo, okay. So after the commercial break, we probably get Endower's fighting, right? But I'm here for Papa Endower, yeah, he probably calls it that commercial break. Fat gum. Man, this episode is jumping over every character. Oh, who's this guy though? This actually looks like a competent bad guy. The flower dude. Is that a new bad guy? Because he's a good with slap power, of course. But he seems to have like a new power here. Yeah, who's this guy? A competent new enemy. Yeah, that's a kind of like flower bud guy. This is like an Elden Ring boss. Seriously, this is an Elden Ring boss, okay? This is straight up Elden Ring. It's just like, yeah, I have my flower power. I'm sitting up here throwing rot flowers. Yeah, this guy is like freaking some. This is a mid boss Elden Ring, 100%, man. He's like sitting there on his flower buds, like, I'm spreading my pollen at you. He's like, oh, he's gonna transform everyone into monsters or something. See, this is what I mean. This is later the Elden Ring boss. Now it picks up some seeds here. Kumida. He's gonna throw seeds at them. So there's gonna be a weird mutation effect here. NAVAL is just like, oh, I don't know what is gonna happen now. It's gonna be some weird sad backstory about this flower dude. This is that guy is like straight up Elden Ring. Can you stand here? Papa and Hour, here we go. Oh yeah, he's animal. Seriously, they're jumping through every character now. This episode is like every goddamn character. Now it's Spinner. Yeah, every character gets their own, you know, like 10 minutes here. Now like 1 minute per person. Spinner suddenly is a giant though. Yeah, how did it happen? Spinner has transformed into a Godzilla. I have no idea, honestly. Did he get some power up between last episode when he talked to everyone? After one probably gave it to him, but he's way bigger now. Yeah, Spinner clearly is a giant now. I'm guessing he got buffed by After one. Because he looks, yeah, way bigger and also more crazy, so. Yeah, exactly. Last time we saw him, he was just like a normal Spinner size. Unless he can transform this big if he wants to. I mean, again, I said, like, I'm guessing he got a power up, like another quirk or something. Yeah, because I mean, this guy's like, you want a power up? Exactly. After one is like, you want a power up, don't you? Yeah, come here. Yeah, it's like, come on, like he's like, I can throw you some buffs. Come on. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I gave you some quirk here, right? Yeah. So after one, obviously buffs him, and then he, yeah, okay, yeah, he becomes a giant. He becomes Godzilla, seriously. Yeah, he becomes a giant lizard. Yeah, he turned him into Godzilla, straight up. Okay, okay. And of course he's leading this random evil army, but yeah, he made him into Godzilla. Okay, that's a power up. It seems to mostly be a lot bigger, yeah. Like I don't see what else he did to him. He seems to be just like a lot more bigger. What else happened to him? Okay, is he finally gonna evolve his octopus powers? When it happen, I called earlier, right? It's gonna be the Endower. It's gonna fight after the commercial break. It's a classic macadamia anime. Yeah, in the trailer episode, right? In the preview, it's all about Endower and All for One, right? And also Hawks. It's all about the best characters. And then in the yeah, and in the actual episode, it doesn't happen at all. Yeah, it's gonna happen way later. Yeah, it's gonna be like after the commercial break, like the last minutes. Yeah, so they finally take Dabi, you know, to prison or whatever, right? Yeah. He probably isn't dead, right? Was he a bomb too? Oh, here we go. Even get the Dower as commercial eye catcher. Okay, so that's a. I mean, seriously, like it's just so classic Macadamia. It's so classic Macadamia. The whole, I mean, like I said, the preview is like Hawks and Dower, all for one, Hawks and Dower, right? And then it's like, yeah, okay, like at minute 12 or something. You have to wait the whole episode to get to the actual, the real good bit. Yeah, everything else before is just like, hey, this is what everyone else is doing. Yeah, I heard that the manga is ending, right? Obviously, I'm fully aware of that, and it's hard not getting spoiled, right? Because, you know, you see people posting so much about it all the time, right? So I'm trying to avoid not getting spoiled. And also, I do kind of want to read it, but I don't know. I used to read it, right? And then the way it went for me was that first I watched season 1 of the anime way back when it started airing, right? Like weekly. And this is before I had a channel or whatever, right? So I watched it weekly. And then I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I read the manga up to like the point where the manga was at that time, right? So I was like, okay, I read the whole manga, right? Up to that point. It was like 100 chapters or whatever. And after that, then I I don't know. Then I kind of wait till season 2, and then I kind of gone. Usually I watch the season, then I read the manga afterwards. I kind of done that, compare them, and so on, right? Done that bit a bit, but kind of want to read it now, of course, when it's ending. But also, I kind of want to experience it as an anime. It is a feel to it, you know, like watching an anime as having not actually read it, because obviously for most other. I said order, but at least in the past when I was younger, then I read every shonen manga ever, right? So when I was growing up, all the whatever Bleach or whatever, right? So I also read the manga before, right? So then I also was like, manga first, anime only, wasn't really a thing at all, right? But now I feel a little more like it's kind of fine watching some animes and having read the manga, so to speak, right? Actually enjoying it. But sometimes I do enjoy watching anime more if I know what's gonna happen, though. Actually, right? Because you know this is the big scene or whatever. But here we go. Now they're finally starting here. After the commercial break. Yeah, so we're getting my favorite characters, Hawks and Endower. You know I love Hawks too, of course I do. See, I have my Endower poster there, right? My Endower towel. And if I just flex a bit over here. And I use this thing here. You can't reach it. In my throne of figures over there. Then I also got my Hawk towel, right? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Hawk's on the screen. We're gonna bring up Hawk up there. The Hawk towel. Look at that. Look at that. Finally, Hawk in an hour. They're finally... it's perfect now. My God, this is the best thing ever. This is what I'm waiting for, baby. Finally. Yeah. Exactly. Finally, Endower versus... I would love if he could win here. I would love if Deku was unnecessary, yeah. But almost Deku, it ruins the story. That I know that they probably can't win because it has to be Deku, right? It has to be Deku to defeat him eventually, but here we go. All for one. He got some weird like slime power or something. Hawk is like, Udi-san, we're gonna kick your ass. So I've been waiting for this moment, baby. Hawks and my two best characters, come on. That's right, Papa Endower and Metascriptor's father. Come on. Oh yeah, pissed off. Yes. Yeah, he got some weird like slime crystal power now. Well, he's the closest one who could maybe kill Over One, but oh yeah, Hawks is there. Hawks is there! Oh, you know, it's the best bro ever. I mean, I love Hawks' backstory. When he's just like, I'm the only one that believes in you and ever. It's the best storyline ever, man. He's like holding his doll there. He's holding the Endower doll. Like, I always liked you, Endower. You were my favorite hero. Come on. Okay, so yeah, this new slime power is really good. Apparently, yeah, he takes it from everything. Oh yeah, that girl is dangerous though. Can't she just heal up for one? The spore girl. She just be like, oh, I sent like 1 billion mushroom spore into your lungs, over one. You're dead now. That girl is the key to kill everyone, seriously. Remember how open she was in the tournament though? She was like, oh, I poisoned you guys with spores. Yeah, like what? Oh yeah, it's back to the All Might fight. And it's laughing at All Might. Out of powers. Okay, so Endower's plan is to just like burn through his shield. I do feel they're doing way too much flashback here, honestly. Yeah, it's way too much like, oh, I did this to Shigaraki, I did this thing. It's a little too much like it's flashbacking while they're fighting. Like, oh yeah, like I did this thing too. Okay, here we go. Now it's gonna... I also burned down... I found your son. Now it's gonna be like, I found your son! Yeah, I took your son, Endower! Yeah, and everyone blamed you for being a bad dad. Like, oh god. No, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn from All for One. Exactly. I kidnapped your son. Oh my god. Now here he comes, man. He's like, yeah, I took your Dabi. Or Toya, I mean. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. He's like, there's a giant burn from All for One. I kidnapped your son and made him into a monster. Oh yeah, but of course Hawk is like, I'm the ultimate support. Yeah, he's my... I'm the sidekick. Okay, Endower's gonna be pissed off though. That's good, Endower. He's just being angrier. some weird like spike. But I mean, Opera 1 has like a lot, like it's like kind of a broken bullshit powers. Oh, I can transform my hand into the spike mouth or something. Yeah, it's like he just brings new powers every episode. Oh, is that 13 there? No, it's Jiro. But of course, she's also a Hawks student. Yeah. They need some assistant from the... So not everyone's gonna ship them. I know the meta is this anime. Not everyone's gonna ship these two characters. Not everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, the bird and the sound lady. Oh my god, they're clearly lovers now because they're flying together. Yeah, everyone's gonna ship them now. They're gonna be like, they saved Hawks and an hour, so they're clearly like together now. Yeah. This is how the Academia fandom is. They're like, oh my god, she's flying on his back. This they're basically married now. Yeah, this is a marriage scene. Yeah, 100%. I'm calling it. Everyone's gonna be on Twitter now, being like, oh, they're married now. Yeah, look at her happy she's flying on her boyfriend's back. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. The Endeavor fell in the forest somewhere, but it's probably fine. I mean, fine as in some blood loss, but you know, Papa's gonna fix that. Actually looks like a flesh wound. Like kind of like on the sideline of his ribs. Probably is actually fine with that. Yeah, like probably won't die from that. Yeah, but he's really pissed off now, of course. He's burning anger here. He's like, I took Toya from you. God damn, I'm from one being evil, man. I found your son in the forest. It was fun. Yeah, it's like, goddamn bastard. He's probably gonna burn his own wound, right? Okay, we didn't see that, but he's probably just like, he's probably searing his own flesh, right? So he won't bleed out, you know. So that's classic firepower. It's probably just like, yeah, giving himself first aid by like, stopping the bleeding by just burning it. But yeah, do you hear like we're gonna defeat him together? It's like, I don't know. His powers are pretty good though, but yeah, like, out of his league, of course. Now Hawk is cute though. He's like, I have to show him I'm his master. Now Hawk is cute. He's just like, that's right, my dear student. Yeah, come on. I will show you my abilities. Okay, what's he doing? Yeah, and now I think he's searing his wound, right? He's like I said, he's probably coming back this episode. He's just like searing his own flesh wound. He's gonna aim at the weakness, of course. Classic Offer 1, he's like, what if I kill the bird first? Then the girl just fall, right? Yeah. It's just like, those two are inexperienced noobs. And he got some new weird mouth quirk thing that I was gonna throw off the little girl. Oh yeah, she looks pretty, yeah. But okay, Hawks is like, I will fight him. She looks like he's like, what the fuck am I doing here? She's just like, I probably should have entered his voice. Yeah, that's a stupid fight of me to enter. Yeah, I'm not that good. I'm not the main character. Poor Jiro is like, I think I'm out of my league. Yeah, I think I might have to. She's like, I have to do better than this. Yeah, she's just like, oh shit, I should have joined this fight. Oh, now he like turned his whole into tentacles. Oh, another where he can shoot laser beams. I mean, yeah, honestly, it's silly. Offer 1 is like, oh yeah, also my giant hand thingy can create like laser beams or something. And it hurt Jiro a bit. I don't think anyone dies from this, but Hawks might also get paid. Yeah, he's like, oh, I can shoot laser beams too. It's like, yeah, okay. I don't think anyone died, but you know, Little bit flesh wounds on them. Yeah, she looks like she lost an ear, maybe. Oh, she lost an ear? Is she deaf now? He hit one of her ears, I heard, like her ear blood thing. Yeah, my god, the ear is getting crushed, man. He's owning up here. Oh yeah, it's like flying off one of her, like, weird, you know, sound cork ear things. So he deafens Jiro. He deafens her, I guess. Maybe. I don't think so, because she has one more ear, right? And honestly, I'm gonna be that guy and say that I don't know how it's actually gonna work, because her power is basically her eardrums, right? So in one way, he either made her like lose her quirk or something, or at least partially her quirk, or her quirk can overcome that. Honestly, I feel it's a little bit double. Yeah, I feel it's a double-edged here. I feel like she might evolve from that. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, a little bit like that. Yeah, it's like, did he like, oh, I took out your quirk there, or is it more like, no, that just like empowers her because no, you know, this is an improvement for her. I mean, not immediately, but that's like, oh no, because I have like magical ears, I can just regrow them or something. That honestly wouldn't surprise me. That, like, nah, I don't know, generally. But anyway, let's review it. I'm gonna, we're sitting in the chat, guys. Go into too much, then a bit. Yeah, I mean, he's like a petty guy. Kids have kids, all right. That's true. He's kind of similar to Archangel. Yeah, he is definitely with the feather powers and so on. But I do find that someone report, but I said immediately. I do find it all for once, of course, his quirks. Shigaraki in the version of this, but it's just silly how it's like, oh, I can just shoot laser beams. It's a little bit like he has any kind of quirk he wants, and it definitely, I think, hurts the storyline sometimes. You know? It's like, okay, like, yeah, it's just kind of random. Yeah, she has one ear plug at least left, right? She at least got one ear plug left, but I'm still wondering if it actually. We will see. I think always with those kind of characters. But anyway, we're going to do the review part. I'll put this button there, and then press here. There we go. I was just wondering if he had my Elden Ring. Yes, yeah, it's on Elden Ring, but the PS5 is off. So that's good. They didn't actually have to show Elden Ring like last time, because that was what I was thinking to do first. Okay, I'm covering her beautiful face a little bit. Okay, let's go up there. Oh yeah, look at that. So Jiro gets owned, right? Jiro gets owned. That was kind of the end of the episode. He hits her with this like weird laser beam thing. All for one goes for her, right? I mean, mostly went for the younger, you know, inexperienced people, generally speaking, right? And of course, deafens her in one ear, I guess. But I think this might be interesting, right? Because with her, with her powers, it's a little bit like, you know, maybe she lost her power now then. I don't think so, because she still has one ear left, right? One ear plug left. So it probably weakens her quirk. But at the same time, given how this anime is in a lot of times with quirks, it also might be that she's like ear immune or something. And I mean not immune as in, yes, he did blow for ear, but maybe she can regrow that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if my power is super arms or something, and then someone rips off my arm, maybe I can get a new arm, because my quirk is like arms, right? I don't know, but her quirk is literally like ears, right? You know, eardrum, sounding ear things, this weird thing growing out of her ears, right? Is that the plug thing is coming out of her ears, right? So he ripped off one of her ears basically, but I don't know, honestly. I could see it in the next arc being like, oh no, my ears is back now. I can see it definitely, her being like, oh no, because of my quirk, I could like regrow it, honestly. I don't know, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But anyway, yeah, she kind of got in there, got injured. I really don't feel that they did that much to help Hawken and Warren Tower. They kind of flew in there, and they basically worked as a distraction, I guess, so Tower can like heal himself a bit. But so far they haven't done anything to overrun. He just stands there laughing at them. Yeah. He's just like weak killing. Yeah, like the only thing they did was there are a decoy for like a minute. So. But then he just owned all of them. So, like, that didn't really turn out that well for them. But it does feel, and I think there is an issue with All for One, right? And also Shigaraki even more so, is that they're kind of too OP, right? But I think a problem isn't just that he's OP in a sense, but I think a problem with All for One is that his OP-ness is I can have any quirk, which means that we get these kind of moments where he's just like, oh, my quirk can also shoot laser beam. I can transform my hand things to some tentacles, and then they can build this thing, and then this building can shoot laser beams. You're like, how the F does that actually work? Like, it doesn't make any sense that quirk would also be able to do this thing, or is a combination of quirk, whatever. But it's kind of like, because his power is I can take any quirk and combine them or whatever, you have to just kind of accept it. So it's not a plot hole, but it certainly is a little bit like a Deus Ex Machina that Author 1 can basically bring out any quirk that the author wants him to have at the given moment, right? And then use it. And if anything, the bigger problem is probably that he has all these quirks, but it's like a very common issue that villain has, I would say, is that he has the quirks, but he doesn't use them, very often. You know what I mean? Like, he has like 50 quirks, and this quirk is like amazing for this opportunity, and he uses this once, right? And then the next episode, he never uses it again. Come on, that is literally all for one. He's that kind of villain, has that issue massively. That he has like so many different quirks, so many different powers, but he never really utilizes most of his powers again, right? Like, he's probably never gonna shoot someone with a laser beam again, yeah. Like, he almost killed Jiro with some weird laser beam shit, right? That is probably never gonna be used ever again against Deku and anyone else. That was like a one-time deal, right? There's a lot that he does. So he kind of just brings out new powers when he wants to, and then he forgets about them, right? And then the next episode, he forgets he had his power. That's a big issue for him. Yeah, he's like, ha! I can conquer your sound power with my laser beam. And the next episode's like, what is laser beam? I never had that power. Yeah, it's a little bit troublesome as a character, right? Jesus Christ. He's a lot like that, let's be honest. What more happened? Yeah, there were 2 Onslaught. He does look like Onslaught. Now you mention it, I've thought about that, but he has the same face as Onslaught. Yeah, doesn't he? His helmet is basically like the Magneto Onslaught helmet. I never thought about that before. Maybe that's on purpose. I mean, obviously Hiro is a fan of Marvel, so... But, yeah, now you say it. I never thought about that, but... He looks exactly like Onslaught. So everyone knows what I'm talking about. Onslaught is a character in Marvel, which is a combination of Professor X and Xavier. Oh, sorry, and Magneto. And that's kind of like where the current new X-Men show is going. It looks very similar to his helmet and so on. It depends on the author, of course, but he's kind of like a super evil... Can I find some image here to show him? Can I find the full image? So he's actually very similar to how Author 1 looks. It depends, I guess, on the author, like I said, but here it is. So Onslaught is Magneto fusioning with Professor X, right? So he has all this magnetic power and mental powers, and they're all super powerful and so on. And he actually sometimes have a very similar helmet to Author 1, like almost exactly the same, yeah. But it just has this kind of a weirder Magneto helmet. But it's a very similar kind of feel to it. And, flying around and doing similar stuff. They actually are very similar. Yeah, he actually is very similar. I never thought about that, but now I'm just like, Jesus Christ, yeah. All for One and Onslaught are super similar. Jesus Christ, they actually are very, very similar. Like, yeah, Jesus. Where's my here's a bit of I can't get out of my mind now. They're super similar. Yeah, they have the similar powers, kind of like that story. I mean, from a visual standpoint, not necessarily from like from a story aspect, but similar powers, similar appearance. They got the weird like Magneto helmet on him. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. No, I can't. This is one of those things you can't unsee now. Now it's like, yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Is All for One based on Onslaught, at least appearance-wise, and also somewhat power-wise, because yeah, they're very, very similar. Like now I can't unsee this thing, It's like when you see it once, now you're like, I am kind of like Hawks. Yeah, now you can't I can't unsee this now. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, this is what the truth is. This is what is happening. Oh yeah, you ruined it for me. It's one of those illusions, I love it in How I Met Your Mother, when they talk, oh, but this guy will see, you see, so then it's like, oh yeah, no, I also see it. I can't stop seeing it now. Yeah, that's how it feels. Like you ruined my my dreams, something. No, but it's like, yeah, that's true. Like now you say it, it's right. It's so similar. I think the next, yes. As a side note, people that are watching the X-Men 97, the reboot, right, the remake, or recall, recall of X-Men. They are probably going on with the Onslaught storyline, but I'm not really sure actually. So I've seen the whole new X-Men 97, right? And the last episode, they're inside Magneto's mind with the Savior, and it's very clearly a reference to Onslaught, because they're like mind fusing, and they're talking inside his flashback and so on. and they're losing their like, and they're going crazy and all this stuff, right? But at the end of the episode of 97, they still separate them. So I think they're not going onslaught. I believe they were gonna go onslaught for the beginning of the episode, but that was kind of like a ruse because the last minute they kind of don't do that. So I don't know. I'll be kind of strange actually if they're gonna go onslaught in 97 now or 98 or whatever it's called in next season, because the way they ended last episode felt like they weren't going at all. But like I said, in the beginning of the episode, the first 10 minutes, oh yeah, this is onslaught now. But they kind of it's just the end they went away from that. Yeah, they went away from that. And also they don't have, Franklin and so on. So I think that's like an issue too. In 97, they don't have those other like reality power dudes to save the X-Men if they lose it. Oh yeah, what actually happened in the 97, that was... Okay, so it's a spoiler now then. Spoiler for 97, a bigger spoiler, okay? So I will give a warning, spoiler if you haven't seen it. But 97 basically ends in how the Franklin Austin ended. Basically by being that a few of the heroes are teleported to other timelines, other universes. So they did that stuff, but they didn't do Onslaught. So the Onslaught final battle sends them into different, universes, right? They still did that for a few of the heroes. So we see, Apocalypse in the end, like young Apocalypse in the end of the episode, meeting up with some other character, right? And that's kind of like, okay, so they're going like the timeline thing, but they never went Onslaught. So they're basically doing like the timeline jump after Onslaught without having used Onslaught. So they kind of like skipped over the Onslaught arc and went into the arc after Onslaught, basically. So no, I don't think they're doing Onslaught, because they kind of like, yeah, they're doing some kind of like young Apocalypse, Noob Saboteur storyline instead, and other kind of timelines with that. Anyway, there's not the nerd stuff here. Where was I in My Academia? I was gonna change the image there, go to the more episode. But yeah, I'm also a Marvel fan, dudes. I'm also into Marvel, guys. If you didn't know that, I'm also into Marvel. Yeah, and X-Men, and so on. But also, of course, like I saw Isekai Squad as well. DC. I mean, I'm obviously an actual nerd. So people think that I'm only, whatever, right? Even though I have Spider-Man behind me, they only do anime, but or they have a Captain America painting, or they have an Avenger painting, and I have Spider painting over there, and then I have this Batman poster over there, and so on. So the whole house has like different regions, right? Of things. I have a DC comic region in the other room, right? But anyway, back to My Academia. This image. So the first 10 minutes of the episode was kind of like, I don't know, you just saw everyone fighting. Yeah, it's a little bit like, I think, for better or worse, and this is also, I think, hard to give. I'll say, but I don't want to say, oh, it's terrible, but also great or whatever. But it really reminds me of, for example, the final war in like Naruto, where we have so many characters, right, and everyone is fighting. So it really gave me that feeling. Okay, we have Hawks fighting, but then we jump into like big fat gun fighting, and then we jump into like Mountain Lady fighting, and we kind of have this like separated to the characters. So every character is fighting on the same time, and Hawk is the best guy or whatever. Hawk is cool, man. I love my Hawks, I love Hawks, but it certainly feels a little bit like, especially the Naruto ending, or similar like war arcs, like the Marine Force and so on. It's so many characters, and they have to jump through all of them all the time. So the first 10 minutes, they aren't like bad per se, but at the same time, they feel a little bit like, oh, I'm getting like 1 to 2 minutes fighting per character. Yeah, it's a little bit like here. So I don't know. I always felt that. I would say, I think it's a mistake. Right? I think it's a big mistake in animes and mangas or whatever doing that. I think it would be much better if the authors is focused on one group of character each, right? I mean, obviously, like where Hawks are fighting, we have Hawks and Dower, and then obviously Jiro, and so yeah, we have those characters, and with Hawks, obviously. But we have Spinner fighting some of the other good guys, right, blah, blah. So focus on one per episode, I think would be much better, honestly. And this is a general critique for anime, I think, overall, for the show the anime, right, This episode here, right, obviously is mostly Hawks focused then, right, and then Dower a little bit, but obviously the Hawk episode primarily. But still, the first 10 minutes is like, a little bit Mountain Lady, a little bit Fat Camp, a little bit Hawks, a little bit, whatever. Yes, it's like everyone gets a 1 minute each, right, for the first 10 minutes. And you're just like, it's not bad per se. The minutes aren't bad, but I'm just like, no, I'd much rather have 10 minutes of Mountain Lady, right? 10 minutes of Fat Camp, 10 minutes of Hawk, and then rather having 1 minute per character. But like I said, I think it's a general issue that shonen anime author has, all of them, because they all keep doing stuff, where they're jumping through everyone's battles instead of just focusing on one battle. Of course, sometimes you have to jump a little bit, so it feels like it's all happening on the same time. But this here felt very One Piece, right? Where Oda goes through like all the Straw Hats. Or this episode, we can see every Straw Hat for 1 minute each. You're like, yeah, okay, great. Like nothing, because I feel like nothing happened usually, right? It feels like nothing really is progressed then, because it's like Nami does a Thunderball, Frankie does a summoning a mecha. Like, it feels like nothing is happening. So just having the full fight, right? And yeah, it really is a shonen curse, I feel, overall. I think, like I said, I think almost every like battle shonen does this thing, right? And it never made any sense to me. I don't think it never made any sense. And Naruto is probably the worst example of it. It's a total storyline where, obviously, then spoiler for Naruto, but like minor spoiler, but yeah, like when in Naruto they had this final war, right? And they basically have every goddamn ninja and samurais and whatever. They have every goddamn character basically coming back to fight or being there to fight or whatever, right? It's like 500 characters, and they spend like 200 chapters fighting each other, and it's like there's so many chapters where they jump between like 30 characters, right? And you're like, you just stay on one of them for like, 2-3 chapters and finish it. But no, it's like yeah, and there's so many chapters that feels completely like almost unreadable in a weekly stuff. Because I remember I read Naruto weekly, right? And some of the chapters felt almost unbearable, because you're like, oh yeah, like literally there are 20 different characters for 20 pages. You're like, yeah, great, this is like going nowhere. This was better than this story, don't get me wrong, but yeah, a little bit like that, right? I mean, honestly, I've been very, very negative on One Piece later because of the whole Vegapunk stuff, which I truly, truly hate Vegapunk, by far the worst character. But I'm really, really worried, right? Because Vegapunk is showing Oda's incredible issue with pacing. We know that that's a big issue in One Piece, pacing, right? And Vegapunk's pacing is just atrocious, right? And he keeps showing like every character with Vegapunk. Like literally every character in OP, he keeps showing them. Every goddamn character. It's like every chapter, it's like, what is Vivi thinking? What is Dalton thinking? You know what I mean? So I mean, in the final arc of One Piece, I think it's gonna suck probably to a large extent, honestly, because it's gonna have this set issue with Hawks right here, that it's gonna be like 5,000 characters, and Oda's gonna show every goddamn character for like, one panel each, yeah. It's gonna be like 500 characters per chapter, doing something, one per panel, you know what I mean? That wouldn't surprise me, because Oda he's the worst at this, yeah. It's gonna be worse than Naruto fights. It's gonna be worse than this thing, right? But like I said, still though, I think it's important. This is very shonen, right? They all do this thing. Every goddamn battle shonen does exactly this mistake, and it's never been good in any of them. It's never been a good thing. It's never been good. They never learn. I don't know why they're doing it. It doesn't make any sense. It just like we saw for example Spinner, right? So let's wait for that. But it's a Spinner. He's a Godzilla now. That's pretty cool. But at the same time, right? Couldn't we just finish that? Do we have to wait like 2-3 episodes to get back to Spinner? Can't they just have that Spinner fight? Couldn't they just be in the whole episode and then we go to Offer 1 or whatever? Yeah, what is Don Krieg thinking? Exactly, it's like, what is Gin and Don Krieg doing right now? They're eating ramen right now. But this is what I mean, like we see Spinner and he's like, oh yeah, Spinner's like Godzilla now. That's pretty cool. I wonder if there's other powers. That's like, let's go talk, that's what Hawk's doing now. He's like, no, I want to stay on Spinner. I want to see if Spinner is just a giant Godzilla, right? Because Spinner, I mean, be honest, maybe I'm wrong, but what I saw, Spinner just transformed into, a much bigger form, right? Basically Godzilla, calling him. But does that mean that Spinner has more quirks, or is he just, a giant guy, right? Plus his previous quirk, right? Who knows? That's what I mean. I'd rather stay on Spinner and see that fight be started and mostly concluded, right? See his powers, see what will happen, how will defeat him, and and do that stuff, right? But instead it's like, ha! Spinner's like Godzilla now. Okay, let's go. What is Hawk doing right now? I was like, no, stay on that guy. Like, no, what's Hawk doing right now? What is Jiro doing right now? I was like, no, go back to the Godzilla, right? I wonder why they always do this thing. Maybe for the writing, if it's easier like this. But it is frustrating, I think. And I think the episode here, it's not bad. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad episode for like a battle shonen. That's what I mean. I don't think the episode's bad at all. I like the episode, but I just mean like it is very, like the execution of the writing, whatever, right, is very, very, shonen jump. Yeah, it's like, this is how we do it. Yeah, this is how we do it. Every character gets 1 minute. Like, it is what it is. Let's go on. You know, it's kind of like this is how we do it. Yeah, like this is how everyone else does it. And you know, that's the formula for this kind of giant war fights, right? But anyway, what more happened? Did we see some other stuff? The beginning, we had, of course, Dabi, little bit Dabi, Toya. That was a great burn, for that matter, of course. As I mentioned earlier, All For One was like, I found your son! And honestly, you know what? Let me take this out here, because I think that actually has a little more value to it. So let me bring out Dabi there, because actually, I think that's very interesting when he was like, I found your son in the coma thing. So this is something I was thinking about when he said that, and obviously that pissed off, you know, obviously that was like, oh no, I got you. Oh, that's the wrong button. This is better. Guess I want some Dabi. There we go. Give me some Dabi love. There we go. But honestly, that was very interesting. He said this to end hour. So bam, we got Dabi there. I think it's kind of funny because, and you know, All For One is like, that's right, I found Toya in the forest and I made him a villain, right? And he's like, and I was like, no, you made my son evil or whatever. I think this is very interesting because honestly, first and foremost, didn't All For One save him? Right? He's acting like, oh, I made your son a villain, but it's kind of true. But also, like, wasn't Dabi dying in like the forest after using his powers too much? So if All For One hadn't found him in the forest in like comatose because he was 3 years in coma, he would have died, right? And All For One gave him like medic aid for 3 years. So it's like, well, actually, he kind of saved his life though, right? He's acting like, yeah, if anything, he saved his life, right? Because if he didn't found him, so I think this scene was kind of weird, honestly. Obviously, he was a taunt at Dower. But generally speaking, is like, well, I mean, otherwise he would be dead, right? So it's kind of like Dawa could tank him for making his son evil, sure, but like, otherwise he would be dead, right? So it's a little bit weird in the general sense because it's like, well, he otherwise he would probably have died, right? Again, maybe, I guess you could argue that maybe Dawa would have found him in the forest eventually, and they could have maybe saved him, you know, waking up in the forest perhaps. But probably not, right? If he didn't get saved by All For One, he would be dead instead. So that's one thing. Secondly, as I made my video this week, right, and you know how much I feel about Ray Todoroki, right, Mama, and of course, and Dawa and so on. Dabi was already crazy before he burned down the forest. That's why he did burn down the forest. So the whole idea too that Dawa made him a villain, arguably yes, but as I say in my video, you know, Mom made him a sociopath, right? It's his mother's fault that he's a sociopath. So without, you know, without All For One, he still would be a sociopath. He will still probably be a villain, even if he never met All For One. So I'm a little bit like, I don't know, man. All For One takes way too much credit for this thing, I feel. He takes way too much credit, okay? He's like, I'm frag stealer, man. It's Mom's fault, okay? Don't come in here, All For One, and, you know, pretend that you made this guy crazy. He was already crazy when you met him, right? I mean, he was already a bad person when you met him, yeah. Don't come in and lie about it. And if you see my video, short summary, right? But there's a very classic thing called Yukasta complex, and this is you check it out. It's a very, very classic behavior scientist thing where a mother, right, is enabling her bad son's behavior, and that usually leads to, you know, children doing bad stuff, right? And this is very, very common, a very common issue. And this also explains why, for example, in America, mostly, right, single-hand household have, you know, in general, were children, right, of course, and single houses, of course, obviously moms almost always, right? So it's very similar to that issue, right? Why raising a kid, a mom only, usually leads to the kid having more likelihood of being a criminal and bad at school and blah blah and so on, right? Dabi is the same thing. I know he has his dad there, but the action of Ray, right, is that she's lying to Dabi, right? She's pretending it isn't happening, and Dawa asks her to protect Dabi, right, or Toya then, and asks her to like stop Toya from going outside, stop him from going to the forest, you know, yada yada. And she's like, oh yeah, I will do that. Then she lies to Dawa, right, because she doesn't do shit, but she's like, oh no, I hate the kid. Doesn't do anything about it. So she does that classic enabling mother, which leads to the children being sociopaths. This is like a textbook how to create a sociopath son, right? So it's her fault with Toya Dabi, absolutely. People love to blame Endeavor for it, but it's ridiculous because Endeavor actually keeps trying to stop Toya from doing this thing, right? And then people go like, oh, but why was Endeavor not doing it then? Well, because Endeavor was the second strongest hero on the planet, and he had to go and do work, you know, saving life, fighting all the villains, right? He's asked his wife to, you know, do the parenting. She's a stay-at-home mom, right? Like, you know, protect our son. She's like, oh, I will do that. Like, yeah, that's a lie. She did shit, right? It's her fault. It's a crime. I'm so tired of people blaming Endeavor when it's so clearly that she created a sociopathic son, right? Very classic, textbook, just a complex way into it. And she's so ridiculous. But anyway, my point, of course, is that All For One didn't make him crazy. He was already crazy, mostly thanks to Mom, right? And obviously his father was the one that inspired him to, you know, train and be stubborn and all this stuff, as Endeavor himself says that, oh, he got that stubbornness from me, right? Sure, but he still wanted to quit, you know. I mean, I read about it earlier, but I'm so tired of it, right? I'm so tired of it. People keep complaining on Endeavor, where anyone that's any understanding of psychology knows that, well, in this flashback and this backstory, obviously it's Mom's fault, mostly. Like, I'm not saying he's innocent, but it's clearly mostly Mom's fault, like 90% of her fault. And then, of course, later, he's meaner to her, and he's meaner to Shoto, and blah, 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 so on, right? But again, you have to think about it, right? How much Shoto figure here, right? You have to think about it. It's like, yeah, but this is after he thinks Toya died. And whose fault did Toya die? Mom's fault. Because Mom was the one that didn't stop him from going to the forest, right? She was like, oh no, he called me fat, whatever. Yeah, oh no, he's mean to me. He can go and burn down some animals in the forest, you know what I mean? So, no. And then, when he does the stuff to his wife, right, that's after that. I mean, honestly, people are always like, oh, Endeavor, but Jesus Christ, man. You have to also remember that he got worse to his wife after Toya died, right? And again, whose fault is that? Her fault. So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm hardcore on my Endeavor defense now. But like I said, now I made that video, which is a very long video, explaining, you know, the whole Endeavor and Ray interaction, right? So now I'm just like, yeah, no. Now I'm like, oh no, now I'm like dead serious on my on my Ray stuff there. Yeah, no, guys. Like I know what's up, man. I know my stuff. But honestly, as a side note here, then, in a general sense, guys, I've been thinking about this for many years, right? Because obviously, you know, I got a degree in this subject, right? Now I work mostly with, you know, game theory and like behavior science and so on and so on, right? And the way I look at that from like a professional standpoint, right, is that a large portion of my work, sometimes depending where I work then, but is to do this thing, like, you know, profiling, examining these things, all right. So this is a huge part of my life from a professional standpoint. So immediately, right, when I saw the second flashback, not the first one with the Endeavor and Shoto, but the second one with Toya, right, immediately, this is about 2 years ago now, I was like, oh yeah, obviously Mom has this issue. Yeah, obviously Mom is this complex, right? Yeah, obviously, right? No question in my mind is that, oh, this is supposed to be this thing, right? But you know, people are so insanely hateful, right, of Endeavor, and I think it's really, really strange, honestly, when it comes to Mom, though. And I guess because she's a frail little woman or something, but it's really ridiculous how it's like, I mean, obviously, Mom is a much worse parent than Endeavor. They're both bad parents, but she's obviously the worst. Like, objectively, she's the way worse parent. In any, like, objective measurement, she's the worst parent. And people are like, oh no, but she could help herself, you know. I hate that idea, right? I said, well, I hate that idea when people are defending bad actions because, oh, she couldn't help herself. No, she couldn't. And at the same time, you know, I hate that people are defending Dabi. You know, people are like, oh no, he calls he's a villain. His dad was mean to him. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, people are so obsessed with that, and that's one thing that honestly bothers me in the anime community. How, you know, anime community, they're so into this, like, defending villains that make no sense. Yeah, like, oh no, he had a bad childhood. You know what I'm talking about the most, right? Obviously, Eren. Yes, Christ, guys. When it comes to their Eren defense, right? I'm definitely gonna watch, of course, plus-sized. Yeah, Endeavor should have Endeavor should have dual wielded. That was the problem. So that's the end of the Academia part. But I wanna give a little bit rant here. I wanna rant a little bit about this, but it also connects to my latest Endeavor video. Now I'm just in this weird mode. How do I? Sorry about that. Yeah, this is very weird. Let me bring up my favorite character, right? Almost like him more than I like Gabi, but Yeah, she's dead. Yeah, stop being mean. Poor Stars and Stripes, man. Yeah, she's dead. That's true. She's dead, man. Yeah, she's dead. They're all dead, man. Jesus Christ. But okay, so that whatever, Macadamia. But as a side note, right, following this, my and our defense here, I think the best sample of this thing, right, is the dissonance with Aaron. You know what I mean? And this obviously could be on video. I was thinking actually about doing this video too after I did our video. My next topic might be people have stopped defending Aaron, but like I said, right, Aaron is the most extreme example of what we see with Ray, right? You know, so like I said, Ray, the mother of Toya and Shoto, so on, right? People defend her no matter what she does, right? No matter what she does, they defend her, right? And oh, it's like mean and dour, right? And they have this like obsessive defense of her, even to make no sense. And she clearly didn't have to like attack her own son or whatever. She could have left him, right? You know, so it's really weird. But what's even dumber, of course, is the defense of Aaron, right? Aaron Yeager. The people defending Aaron Yeager must be the ultimate, like, I don't know, causing this dissonance in anime community. There's nothing more than I hate, honestly, in the anime community. The people that defend Aaron Yeager. This is so stupid. This is so incredibly stupid, right? Because Aaron is like Hitler. He's like genocide, you know. It's like arguing that, well, you know, the Nazis, yeah, they had to do that with the whole it's like, because, you know, Hitler, he didn't get into that painting school he wanted. He wanted to be an artist, and they rejected him, so he had to kill everyone. I mean, that's basically what they're doing, right? It's insane, right? It's insane. Aaron, first of all, it was time power, so he could have probably changed it. The writing is terrible. You know what the writing with his time power is, so many plot holes. But even if you ignore that, there's no defense of what Aaron is doing. Just because someone was mean to you doesn't allow you to be mean to them, right? You know, there's a huge difference between self-defense, right, and getting revenge. So if someone breaks into your home and you take them out, right, in, you know, stand your ground in your own, you know, house, right, on your own property, that makes perfect sense, right? But if someone breaks into your house and they see your stuff, and then 3 months later you find where they live and you go over to their house and you take you kill them, that's vigilante. That's not legal. That you can't do that, right? You know, it's a huge difference. Right? Aaron is of course the latter. Aaron is like, oh, you hurt my mom, but actually it was me, but you hurt my mom like 20 years ago, so no, I kill everyone. You know what I mean? So then I kill all the innocent children out there or something. Like, that is crazy. You can't like defend his action just because someone did a crime to him, so he can do the same crime to everyone else, right? And also, from a scaling standpoint, he's just like, you hurt my mom, so I will kill everyone's mother, right? It's also like this absurd scaling. So yeah, there's nothing I hate more than when the anime community defend Aaron. And obviously there are many other characters in animes that are defended by the loonies. There's so many actually, right? But Aaron is just the worst because he's so objectively wrong. He's so objectively a bad person in so many ways. And like I said, he really does like exemplify that obsession people have with like the whole victim mentality. Oh, you made me a victim. No, I can make everyone else a victim back, right? It's a terrible eye for an eye, you know, everyone goes blind reality, right? And it's the most juvenile way of thinking about reality, because you can't live in a world where everything is just black and white, right? No gray zones. It's like you have to punish everyone exactly the same or something. Like, no modern legalism does that, right? No modern legalism does that. If you commit murder, you're not gonna get executed immediately. You know what I mean? Most countries these days doesn't have that, right? You know, it's like life in prison. Yeah, we don't have a system in any country where it's like you get exactly what you did to someone else, or you are someone, or then we're gonna are you. You know, no country does that. Yeah, like, no one does that. Not even the world country does that. No system works like that, where you are punished by the exact same thing you did to someone else. Something. So that was a thing, right? No one actually wants to have a society. But Aaron, again, of course, takes it even further. But like I said, he's like, oh, well, you M this person, I'm gonna M everyone. Yeah, it's like, it takes the scaling to an absurd level of the degree, right? Which makes absolute zero sense, right? And of course, it doesn't help that he actually has time powers and all this stuff and so many plot holes. But even without that, it's just like, no, you can't defend his action. It doesn't make any sense. But then, of course, it's worse that he actually could have changed the timeline and created a timeline where his mom was alive and he also got the powers or whatever, but he just doesn't because the author is terrible author, right? So yeah, it's insane, and that might be the next video, I don't know, but it really comes back to this thing though. I think that people are so into this like victim mentality. Oh, this guy's a victim. Oh, it's so sorry for him. He should do whatever he wants, right? And of course, for that reason, they defend him, right? And it's the same thing with in NAVAL and Ray and Toya and so on, right? People keep defending Dabi's action because he's a victim, right? People keep defending his mom's action because she's a victim. But honestly, the funny thing is that NAVAL is also a victim, right? Because NAVAL was lied to and cheated on, right, by his wife, you know. If you know, you think about that, NAVAL might be the biggest victim, right? How his wife acted him, right? But obviously, right? But no one wants to say that. No one wants to talk about that. Isn't NAVAL the actual biggest victim? No, I don't think it's big victim, but NAVAL is also a victim, right? His wife lied to him and lied about the children and lied about happening and so on. So NAVAL is also a victim, but no one wants to admit that, right? In the victim mentality pyramid, because then they will ruin their lifestyle. But anyway, now I see you guys are in my beloved friend Fraudlad. It is really strange, so honestly, right? A few streams ago, and I put off stream sooner, guys, but a few, honestly, clear's beaten Elden Ring. I don't do anymore in my life. I beat Elden Ring now, right? So I'm just like, what should I do today then? Honestly, I'm gonna be like, should I just replay it now? My build is so good, guys. If you haven't beaten Elden Ring yet, check out my video yesterday, and I really mean it. I have the best build against the last boss in the game. Last boss is very, very weird. He's incredibly fast and so on, but my build makes him into a joke, okay? And later today, maybe say 6-7 hours now, I'm gonna make a tier list video where I go over the different boss fights, right? We'll rank them, and you know, and I'm gonna put everyone in super easy. But the last boss actually is quite easy with my build. Like, it's really easy with my build. But anyway, yeah, Fraudlad got like 5-6 channels. Yeah, you're right in that. He got 5-6 channels. And one thing I never understand with YouTube, and this is just a general thing, because I am very good with the whole YouTube, you know, legal rights and terms of service and all this stuff, right? Which most YouTubers are completely dumbfounded on, right? For example, I hate Jai Rock Lee, right, for his legal issues and so on, right? Last month. But one thing I never really understand with YouTube is how they look at being banned on one, or not banned, but like temporarily suspended on one channel and still doing stuff. So Fraudlad got suspended, right, for his hentai on his main channel, right, or his second main, whatever, but his current main channel. So he got like what's called, yeah, like 2 weeks suspension or whatever, right, for uploading hen stuff basically, which he should have got banned for or whatever. And then he still has like 4 other channels, right? So he uploads stuff on that. And I do find it strange how YouTube allows that, because it does feel like, well, we know that it's clearly the same channel, it's clearly the same person, so shouldn't you be suspending all of them? But that's always been a really weird thing on YouTube, is that so many people get away with, you know, just making a new channel after getting banned, right? And usually YouTube never really does anything with that, except, of course, if you are community banned, usually. That's the thing, right? If you get community banned, I said it before, but if you get community banned, that basically means you upload, you know, like porn or something like that to, you know, YouTube, or worse stuff, right? And then it means that you basically marked for life by Google, right? So then they will just remove you all the time. But that's what I mean though with Fraudlad, because Fraudlad, he had a community suspension. He didn't have like copyright. There wasn't copyright issue, right? He uploaded hand stuff to YouTube, right? So it was like, but that should have made him kind of be half-ass banned, was calling me. So when that should have made him basically be half-ass banned on all his channels. But honestly, I don't get it, right? I showed that a few weeks ago, his video about what's called Heavenly Delusion, and he's just, I mean, you're talking about here, I know you, some guys, you were last that time, he basically is showing the full panel where a guy is, you know, to an L, right? Yeah, and it's crazy. But I've seen the anime, right? The anime is very, very, you know, 18 plus, right? And has a lot of weird, you know, sex scenes, so to speak. And he's just showing that scene on YouTube, like I'm doing here with Aaron, right? But instead of having Aaron's face here, we have a teenage, you know, yeah, it's like, it's really weird. Like, it's really weird. I have no idea what how he gets away with that. Like honestly, like I have no idea. But he gets like banned every now and then. But I mean like how he gets like permanent banned. Like how is it like life banned? Because he uploads like peace stuff to YouTube and gets away with it. Yeah, like it's weird. It's really weird. If he was a bigger channel, he probably would get banned permanently because more people have seen it, right? You've probably seen the whole thing with Dr. Disrespect, right? Happened this week, right? How he messaged some, young person, right? And so on. And I'm not surprised or whatever because I remember when he went into the bathrooms and filmed people years ago. Yes, I was surprised by it. But, he's basically banned everywhere now. YouTube spent him, Twitch, blah, blah. That's kind of how it is, right? So if Fraud Lad was a bigger channel and did the same thing, it probably also would be bad everywhere because that's the problem. Honestly, think about it like that, right? It's kind of funny that it's like, well, you obviously get more views and subs or whatever, right? For being insane like he is and uploading really, really, questionable stuff, right? You know what I mean? And so on. You get more views, of course. People are gonna share it because it's crazy, right? Whatever. But eventually, as possible is, if you reach enough fame, right, by doing that, you're also gonna get banned, right? Because it's like that's the problem a little bit by playing like that, right? Memory, I think, just quit a long time ago. Memory is like a weird channel because Memory was one of the biggest reactor YouTubers with anime and so on and manga, right? For like 5-6 years ago. He had like a huge channel. He had like one of the big subscriber-wise. He had like the biggest one, or second biggest one, like by everyone. Like no one was close to him. And then he basically hadn't had any subscriber growth in like 6 years, something like that. So I think that sometimes, right, you look at subs, right? Obviously, my channel and any channel, certain percentage of your subs are like dead subs, dead accounts, right? Doesn't matter, right? Memory and K, his channel, I would guess is like 99% dead subs. Yeah, like he has more subs than me, for example, right, on this channel, but he had that like 6-7 years ago. Those subs he has, and he's been going down, I believe, in subs since then, right? So his subs are completely like something he got, like a decade ago, right? And then he hasn't done stuff since then, basically, or he did stuff but stopped basically a few years ago. So he does stuff every now and then, but I mean, I'm gonna guess that he basically gets almost no traction, right? Because his subs are probably only a few percentage of what they actually are. They actually care about it. So his subs are completely pointless to look at, honestly. And some channels are like that, right? When I think it's the easy way to look at that is that if you have a YouTube channel and your sub count is only going down, right? Mine goes up every week, right? I must say it's the best thing ever, but I get like 10 subs a week or whatever. But he's losing like 100 subs per week, right, for like 5 years, He just goes straight down, right? Then you basically know that when this channel is dead, right, that literally is dead because no one actually wants to watch his stuff, right, So that's probably why he quit, I think, honestly, because I think he basically quit like 2 years ago, I think, something like that, more or less. He stopped doing videos, but I think he does like a one per month now. But yeah, I think it's like he probably has got worse and worse numbers, right? Like it doesn't matter if he has pretty good sub count if no one actually likes your videos, right? So he probably just quit because he was like, yeah, nothing I do actually works, right? I think it's something like that. So that's why he probably got why he probably stopped. Yeah, but I think it's like I said, you see that with a lot of YouTubers. The biggest YouTuber that is famous for that is Boogie, right? If you know what Boogie is, he was like a huge YouTuber back in the days. He was on History, right? So Boogie was this like giant YouTuber with like 4 or 5 million subs, right? He was one of the biggest YouTubers by far. I think he had almost 5 million at the time. And this is like 10 years ago. So he was really, really, really big, for that time, right? Now, of course, you have a lot of YouTubers with, millions of subs and this and that, right? But he had like 4 or 5 million subs back when the rest had like 1,000 subs, right? Yeah. He was one of the, by far, biggest names on YouTube, and he was like second guest on History's podcast and stuff, right? He was massive like 5-6 years ago. But that guy has lost like 10,000 or more subs per day since then. Yeah, like he is the most dead of dead channels. That he is like just was one of the biggest YouTubers, and then everyone hated him, and then he's been losing his subs every day. And it's kind of funny in a sad way, right? Because he can upload a video now. He got maybe like, I don't know, I haven't checked it for years, but let's say he has 1 million subs still, right? Like that's a huge number of subs, but he gets like a few thousand views, right, on a video because no one actually likes him. He completely, yeah. So Boogie is probably the best example of a truly like the miserable dead channel, right? Where it's like, oh, you had one of the biggest channels. Seriously, he was much bigger than almost every other YouTuber like 7-8 years ago. He was like gigantic, you know, massive, right? And then he just like, but he did so many dumb stuff. So don't get me wrong, he did so many dumb stuff though. So I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that that's the best example of a channel that if you look at his channel today, right, and you have no context. So you look at his channel today and you see, oh, this guy got 1 million subs. He must be a popular YouTuber, right? But he's actually very not popular. Yeah, I just mean like if you go to his channel and you don't have the context that happened before that, you think he's probably a big YouTuber, right? But he actually has lost like 80% of his subscribers over the years. So he actually has incredibly low, you know, algorithm feed or whatever, right? It's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do the summer stream. I was thinking of doing it maybe today, but I want to do the Elden Ring review, so I might do the summer stream later tonight. But I think I'll probably do it tomorrow, but that'll be before Demon Slayer then. I could think of doing it maybe, at the same time like this is going tomorrow if I have time. This or on Monday. But I think I'll do it tomorrow. So I want to do the Elden Ring tier list. Or maybe tonight, yeah, today or tomorrow. But basically, right, talk about it briefly here. With the live chat, right? You know what I want to see? It's the... I don't know what X-Boy Wonder is, by the way, so... No comment on that, but... you know what I want. You know what I want for animes. I can do it briefly here, but I'll do it more later. But honestly, yes, it's a bit Elden Ring now. I might do it later tonight anyway, but I think I'll do it tomorrow. Because I know because I haven't seen all the trailers yet. Honestly, I haven't. Today I have to, you know, actually go over some of the trailers. I haven't actually spent the time, you know, actually going over all the trailers yet. But mostly, right? You know what I mean. Oshun Koi comes back, of course. Idol show, Mama Idol, right? You know, that's some good shit. Tower of God, I guess I'm gonna watch. Where is it? You know, the only show I really care about is, okay, obviously my dear friend. but the only show I really care about is not this Idol show, but this was pretty good. What is it? You know, the only show I care about, you know what it is. What is it? Rick and Morty anime? What? Wait, what? Seriously, 10 episodes? Wait, what? What? I don't know about that. Like I said, we have to give him some time to actually watch all the trailers. The whole point is I have to be prepared, right, and see the trailers before. Where is it? I can't find it. Elf. I'm trying to find the elf, the elf one. Plus size elf. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. This is the only show I care about. You know what I mean? This is the only show I care about. Fat elf chick. No, stop it. This show you care about, okay? We can end the stream now, bros. But this is what you actually care about. Believe in me. This is the actual show you care about. Look at this thing. Plus size elf. It's a bunch of elf ladies, and they're like training, and they're thick, and they're like, come on. This is the only anime you're gonna care about. It's basically a bunch of like hot elf chicks, right? Dork elf and so on, and they're training. They go into the gym, you know, like dumbbell, and they're getting their muscles on, and they're showing their like thickness and so on. This is clearly the greatest anime of all time. This is like, one thing is so funny too, this anime. It is so funny. Is that when this anime is announced, immediately, right, you see people on Twitter being like, oh, it's fat shaming. It's fat shaming. It's like, people are immediately like, fat shaming. This anime is fat shaming, man. It's about losing your proper fatness. You know, like, yeah, that's right. Freaking fat shaming. Should be fat. So, come on, this is clearly the greatest anime ever. And yes, it's fat shaming. No, but I love that immediately people are like, oh, this is fat shaming. And, you know, they're serious too. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, don't get me started on my love for, what's it called? Fat positivity movement? Something like that? Which is like the dumbest thing ever. No, but the whole thing is she's gonna slim down. The whole thing is that she's like fat in the beginning of the anime, and then she gets hotter and slimmer. Yeah, the whole thing is that she gets, you know, she loses her body fat and gets, you know, more attractive. But she's thick, you know, because she's big OPPAI, so, you know, she had a lot of fats in the... So it's really silly, yeah, it's really silly. I have the first volume, it's like ridiculous. But as I did last ever on, I never understood, well, I understand it from a mental standpoint, but yeah, there's almost nothing sadder than the fat moment, right? and they want to think that the fat people are like a race or something. Yeah, like, oh, if you don't like people that are fat, it's like being an artist or something. You're like, what talking about? It's not the same thing. Like, yeah, you choose to be fat. Yeah, stop being fat. There are a few people that absolutely can't help being fat. There are a few people that actually have, you know, some kind of disease, take some medicine or whatever, right? So fat con, yeah. So you can't, you know, they can't stop being fat, right? But mostly it's like no. Fat. This anime is good for you guys. It's gonna be all about like, no, you can't. Here's Vistoria. I know you're obsessed with Vistoria, but look at it. Where's my fat elves? Where's my elves? The one that lose their body fat, right? There's no. I don't see any like, you know, thick elf shit here. It's like unwatchable. This is you all keep spamming Vistoria, but come on, where's thick elves? Do you see any thick elves here? That looks like an elf in the background, but that elf isn't thick, man. The elf is not, the OPPAI is not flat here. Yeah, like what's the? We need some thick elves. This is nothing. This is some isekai or something. I don't know. What is this thing? Isekai, Battle Academy. Where's my thick elves? Right? Look at that. It's like a Luna or something. I need thick elves, guys. Thick elves. That's the only thing that matters. But anyway, guys, see you guys, and yeah, we'll do the next stream either. Yeah, but we're the thick elves. Dalmatia's Arthur is famous for those muscular Amazon ladies. Where are the muscular Amazon ladies here, bro? Where's the muscular Amazon ladies, right? Where's all those thick Amazon ladies with huge OPPAIs, big abs? This is why I just can read it, but I don't know. He needs to bring in those Amazon ladies, or else it's unwatchable. But what was I say? You know, the next stream, yeah, probably tomorrow, unless I have a lot of time later tonight. Like I said earlier, honestly, I feel like I have too much time now because you beat Elden Ring and it kind of leaves an empty ring in your body. No, but I'm just like, a hole in your body. I'm like, what should I do now then? Going back to playing all the games already beaten. That being said, I haven't actually beaten Yakuza 8 yet. Like, I'm on the last chapter of that game. I should really go back to play that game. Like, I have the last chapter in Ichiban, and the game is so slow. I mean, I love it, but you know how those games are. It's just so slow. It's so grindy. You have to do so many side quests. I don't like all of it now. I'm like 1 or 2 chapters. I'm like, oh my god, I should finish it. But those games take so long time. It's like 100+ hours. You have to do everything. It just takes forever. It takes forever, bro. No, but I can't watch OP, man, and I keep getting strikes, you know. So that's the busy OP, you know. I'm gonna watch all the trailers today, yeah. If I have time, I will finish it and do the next stream then. But yeah, I watch this trailer after this stream, basically, and so on. I have to do the review of the Macadamia, but yeah. But still, where's the thick ass, guys? Where's the thick ass? But anyway, so you guys can have a great day, and yeah, if I have time later, I will stream this thing. But I don't think I will, because I do want to make that tier list of Elden Ring. I do want to make the boss tier list, because I knew, because I used to know that people are gonna be angry at it. Honestly, I say to the media, guys, you're gonna love my Elden Ring tier list, because I'm gonna just troll everyone and be like, everything is too easy, everything is bottom tier, everything is shit. Yeah, and everyone's gonna be like, no, I died 50,000 times on the last boss. Mikaela is cheating. And I'm like, it took me 2 attempts, so I don't know what is wrong with you. I'm gonna do that thing. But honestly, I did not take many attempts to beat Mikaela, the last boss. It took me very few attempps. I was like, oh, I just changed my weapon. Okay, I win. Like, I didn't even respec. I just changed my main weapon. I just did one thing. I just respec. I had my anvil hammer, and then I put on my thing. Bale, I died more on Bale than I died on the last boss, honestly. Yeah, I died more on Bale than I did on the last boss. And, where's short? Don't get me on Elden Ring now, but I say one thing. I don't get the point of Bale, though, honestly. I think there's an issue in the game. The whole dragon stuff is completely pointless. Yeah, everything in the dragon stuff has no relevance. Yeah, it's just, I know that's how Elden Ring is, but come on, the whole dragon region is just kind of pointless. Yeah, you have like a bunch of dragon bosses. You have this like giant evil dragon, and he's a quest, of course, from Egon, right? But all of that is completely out of the game. Yeah, all of that could have been like chopped from the game, and it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, sure, it's better having it there, not having it there, but it doesn't like add anything. It's just like not the storyline. You don't get any loot up there. That's important. There's nothing up there. But, yeah, I guess so. But because I mean, like in the original, the first Elden Ring, right? You know, non-DLC, there's a bunch of dragon boss you have to defeat, right? Or at least have to kind of go and, depending on the ending you want, but for like rounds ending and so on, you have to defeat some dragon, you have to go get a key from a dragon and so on. So those dragons have some importance. Then of course there's a bunch of dragons that just kind of exist in that game too, like 10 of them. You could ignore them if you want to, right? But at least there are some dragons that have a purpose there. But in that game, I expected Bale to at least give you something, like an item against the last boss, or a lore bit or something. Like, oh, here's Bale, and now we can use this thing against whatever, Romina or something. But no, it's just like an evil dragon down in the corner of the world. That's an evil dragon. Yeah, I don't know. This really is like completely no purpose to the whole dragon region. You just go over there and kick their ass or something. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, and she's like a Plaxidos worshipper, right? The priestess. But it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. You're down there. Then you also have the Frenzy Flame region, which is also kind of pointless. But the Frenzy Flame region in Elden Ring, at least, is like... It has a lot of like lore it. Yeah, obviously. I mean, you get the stuff from it, but I mean, from a lore standpoint, there's no purpose going on at all. At least the flame place, the Midra's flame place, at least has a lot of lore to it. So you feel like, oh, this is a lot of like, it's important, but at the end of the game, also is irrelevant for the actual storyline to go down there as well. So and the broken rune you get from the tree, so that has some purpose at least. One thing that's weird in the game though, is you do find that like Scudder Tree Chalice, which doesn't do anything either. Yeah, which is really strange. You get the best reward in the game there though, but no, I got the heart with this form. I got the heart. Yeah, I can turn myself into a waifu. I got the waifu gender bender power, of course, much better. But I'm thinking about the friends you place has no purpose either in a sense. Commander Guy's region is weird because it leads to just the chalice. It doesn't give you anything either. You have the Marika village place, which is also pointless. Actually, it is a lot of stuff with the game where you're like, oh yeah, this Elden Ring. I have to say that the Marika village kind of disappointed me. There's not much stuff to do there. But you get one item, which is very good against the last boss, but it's also like a weird place because I feel like it's cut, honestly, I feel there's some cut content there. I feel there's some cut content from the Marika village, if anything. There should have been some people there you could interact with, I feel, or something. I know they're dead, but I mean, something like that, or at least more. It's a little strange to get there. And then you also have those two giant finger regions, right? The finger areas, which are gigantic, and they're also pretty pointless. You have one quest to go there, I know, it's like one quest, it's the same quest line for both the fingers. But those regions are like gigantic. The finger regions are just massive size-wise, but there's only one quest to do there. It's like really, really weird in the game, honestly. But I've seen a lot of people complain about the finger regions, but yeah, they're very, very big on the map. They're very large by size, and they're very empty. This is like great. I say one thing here though. Yeah, obviously Marika Village, but still you kind of wish there was something was there more though, right? You wish there was a little more storyline there, like a quest or something. No, but I feel it's very strange that is no one in the game gives you a quest to go to her village. That's the thing. I feel someone to tell you that they want to have something from her village, an apple or something. I don't know. They want to have something from her village. That is what I think is weird. I feel one of the characters should have been like, you have to find the mother's secret or something. So you have to go to her village and find some kind of crown or something, or some kind of, like I think like a crown made of wood or something. So I think that's a little bit right. Yeah, I mean obviously, but I feel like her backstory is there, but I feel like it should have been a quest line to go there. I feel it's very strange that you get to her village and it doesn't interact with you actually, because you don't get the quest there, nor can you continue quest there. So it's a pointless village in that sense. And that to me is a big mistake. It should have been something there, like an item you pick at that place to give to Mesmer or something. Like seriously, Mesmer loves his mommy, right? So why can't you pick up an item there and give it to Mesmer and then he's your friends or something? Something like that. I think it's a big mistake there. You should have picked up something in that area that you could have, used against the other bosses, or even befriend maybe a boss or something with that, like Mesmer step, maybe the most logical example. That you could maybe give it to Mesmer and then he would be like, okay, we're friends now, you can go and burn down the shit or whatever. Yeah. But I think it's very straight, honestly. I think it's a big mistake. What more is in the game? I've seen the whole game now. Romina is weird too, right? Romina of the Scarlet is weird too. You get to her, and you kind of imagine her to be, I don't know, connected to Millennia or something, or it's a name on R, so she's like maybe connected to Radagon or something, but no, she's like, it's a rot queen with no storyline. It is weird. You could argue for that with Marika, but I wouldn't say so, because I think it's more like she ruined how the system works, Elden Ring, right? It's more the grace itself that gives you to become Elden Lord. If anything, Marika made it that no one anymore can become Elden Lord, since she ruined the runes and so on. She took the runes, so yeah, sounds pretty interesting. You get down there with the tool here. I like it in my build though, that I defeated the last boss with Toolier alive. yeah, because everyone, if you go with the last boss, right, and then go to Reddit or whatever, everyone is like, don't summon Toolier, it makes the boss harder. I'm like, screw it. If you look at my video yesterday, I'm defeating Radon, the last boss, with like Toolier, Ansbach, my cloning. I'm doing all of it. I'm like, I'm screw it, this build is so OP. I don't need some stupid like, oh, don't summon the weak NPC. No, I'm summoning them. I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. No, Marika was the one that stole the. Marika sent Malekith, right, to take the death rune and ruin the death purpose. And by doing that, she kind of ruined the flow of time, or like she ruined like the natural system of the world. So she destroyed the Elden Lord system by taking that death rune. And then Rani was the one that freed the world from she kind of like created this like stasis, right, like golden stasis, by removing the death rune. And then Rani was like, screw the shit, I want to be rebirthed. So she did that, like, took the death rune and created that Black Knight thing, and that led to the shattering and the war and so on. Yeah, but I mean, Marika, but it's before that. Marika already ruined the world by sending Malekith to ruin the death thing. I mean, no, but the problem is that Marika has stopped the flow of the universe, right? By like, it's basically the universe in Elden Lord. I mean, it's like a loop, right? Something like that, right? Some kind of weird time loop, whatever, right? And she kind of stopped that by taking the death rune, right? That I would say, at least, that's probably what she did, right? And that is why you are immortal, right? Because you have the grace, right? Because the actual God of the world, not her then, but the actual like universal world God, right? The grace thing, the will of the world or whatever, wants you to kind of kill her to set it in motion again, right? So I wouldn't say that Marika at all wants to be Elden Lord, because she kind of wants to stop the spin, right? And Rani's quest is kind of start the flow again, right? Start the loop again. So, no, I would say that Marika isn't really your fan at all. No, I don't know, man. You can trust Melina, though. But Melina lies to you as well, though. But Melina lies to you, though. But Melina, you can't trust her, man. It's like Mesmer's twin sister. You can't lie. You can't trust her. And she goes crazy even if you save her, too. You can't trust Melina. I have no faith in that maiden, man. I have no faith in that maiden. You can't trust that. But anyway, I gotta go now. Because I'm in the Elden Ring lore. Maybe it could be a fun stream though. It's discussing Elden Lore stream. I mean, an advantage to have, I guess, with Elden Lore is that they don't have this exact, lore. They kind of have all this, like, oh, this thing probably happened because of this reason. Yeah, but Melina is lying though. You can't trust Melina or Marika. They're both evil. You can only trust in Rani. Everyone knows that. It's only Blue Waifu that's trustworthy. Everyone knows that. Only. No. It's Mesmer. No, I don't think it's Rani. No, it's Mesmer. I think it's Mesmer because they both have the Kindle flame, but she can burn the tree and she can heal, right? They both have the flame of Kindle. They both have those things, and they both have the same butterfly thing. But they have the small butterfly. So Mesmer is, I think, definitely more over half with the whole like flame thing, and they can kindle the tree and so on. They have the same power basically, Mesmer and Melina. So I think that would make more sense if they are twins. But anyway, my last point is gonna be that this is a strength of Elden Ring, right? That you can always have these arguments like, oh, I think it's Mesmer, and you can't really disprove me, and also I can't prove me correct either. It's a lot of like, they do this thing where they create a lot of debate, right? Because they don't really like, make like an exact lore or something. They make a lore that's kind of like half-assed, like, oh, you think that's how it works? No, but I think it's his sister. I think it's his twin sister. I think Mesmer's sister is Melina. Like, that's his twin sister. That's why they have the same power. So not his the only person having a Rebis is Radagon and Marika. The whole alchemy thing. But like... But yeah, but I think that this is like straight up that Mesmer and Melina are twins. They're basically another twin pair, right? And that's why they both have the fire to burn down the tree and so on. And it also makes sense that they're both children of Marika and so on. And they also both have a started M, right? The game has a very clear lore thing where it's like, well, everyone with like Melina, Melkula, Mesmer, Melina, they all have M. So they're also probably both children of Marika and so on. It makes that classic M thing, right? Well, yeah, I mean, it's a very Greek thing where everyone is rated, right? It's very Greek, though. It's very Greek, where it's like, and then he married his mom or something. If you read the classic Greek mythology, Kronos eats his own children, right? Kronos is like, no, I'm gonna get, my children are prophecy to defeat me, Zeus and the guys, right? And then eventually, the mother of the Olympus, then Dimitri or Rhea, so on as you call her, same name, right? She, fools him with the Zeus birth, right? And then Zeus can, get strong, and then he can come and defeat his father and so on, right? And defeat Kronos to save his siblings, and that creates the modern, Greek mythology, right? Like the hardest hero and so on. But after that, because his mother helped Zeus to defeat Kronos, right? He was like, what should I do with my mom now? Because she's still a goddess living in Olympus, right? And she's a titan, but she's a nice titan lady, right? He's like, I guess we can marry her too. It's like, he was like, wanna be my wife? Yeah, I can have another waifu. So it's like a really classic Greek mythology. It's like, it's always had issues when your mom is immortal. Yeah, he's like, well, my mom is a nice person. It's like my dad. My dad's in prison now in Hades, but my mom is nice. And, and she's like still, 20-year-old, so to speak. She's like immortal young lady, It's like, she's getting into these weird things, man. So that's how Elden Ring feels. Yeah, it's very Greek mythology. It's like, well, if everyone is immortal and they're, it's like, that's how it kind of happens. So, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, that's how, but in the end, she reacts to him or something. And then she, I don't know. Because the other half thing is more the shadow thing. I mean, it's kind of, because other half usually means the shadow, right? So it's like, I don't know. Because other half, now she has her own other half. Because sometimes in Elden Ring, the other half is more linked to, having your own shadow, like Malekith. And Rani already have her own shadow. Nah. But they have the same, but Mesmer also has one eye seal. They all have that one eye seal thing though, so I don't know, man. They all have their one eye seal. They all have that, there's more than one person having an eye seal, right? Whole Mesmer fights him even like breaking his own seal. Right? So it's a little bit different there. I'm just gonna push the thing here before I forget. Just gonna lay it up there. Like that. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna forget. No, but the rebus is the whole, like, you have your but why would you have another half if they haven't become gods yet? See, I don't say what you say me makes any sense because, like, it's only like Marika has no other health, right? And she's the only one that actually became God. So why would Rani have one? Because she doesn't have that power. She's not on that level yet. Yeah, but like, why would even have their other gods? Why would they even be on that level? Because Marika again is the only one that is an actual god then, in that sense. So like, why would they be? No, but there's like no evidence for that happening before they turn into it. So it's a little bit. Michael has one. Who will be his then? But isn't Santrina? What is actually Santrina? Isn't Santrina more like his dark side though? What is actually Santrina? Santrina's torch. Fate torch, yeah. Do we actually know what Santrina is though? And I mean, Santrina wants him to fail too. So why would that be a thing though? And Santrina wants Mikuya to fail, right? What did I leave the chat now? Oh my god, I'm terrible at this. Where did I put the chat now? Here it is. Here it is, sorry. Well, first of all, even that I'm not sure that's actually how it works, but even if that is how it works, it's only Mikuya that's ascending, but he's trying to become Gado in the Shadow Realm. Yeah, like but the other one has done it. Rani and Melanson has done it. They're not on that level that he is though. Mikuya is closer to be an actual Gado, so I think it's a little bit strange though still. No, but I don't know. But Radagon, I mean, I think the whole thing in the end is kind of weird in the original game. Where Radagon and Marika fights you. Because it's a little bit like, can we trust that he actually wants that? Nah, but that's not how you become a god though. Because she's castrating her body was more, that's not the first step to that, right? Because the other ones didn't do that. Yeah, but I don't know if that. I don't know if the last thing proves anything, honestly, though, because like, yeah, you give them the Elden Ring and they ascend, but that might be for everyone. Like, yeah, that I don't know. I mean, is there a difference with the other characters? Is there a difference if you, let's say you gave the ring to like Millennia instead, wouldn't she also ascend immediately? Is there like a difference in time frame how fast they ascend from giving the Elden Ring? I don't think that really means anything. Honestly, I don't know, like because I don't think there's any other similar character where you're like, oh yeah, you get the Elden Ring and give it to another Empyrean and they can just jump up there. So there's not really to compare it to, right? There's no other like cutscene of someone else with a similar power being given an Elden Ring. So I don't know. That just feels like you beat the boss and I don't know, you have to think about it a little bit like, well, maybe, you know, regardless of how anything works here, that Rani ascends immediately, that's just for us the viewer though, so she can ascend immediately, right? That Rani jumps up in heaven basically immediately and becomes a new goddess, blue waifu for life, right? That it happens immediately is kind of like probably mostly just a cutscene to make it easy for the player, right, to get the ending. Like sometimes you also have to be a little bit like questioning. Sometimes you see in a game, right, or whatever, it's just because it's easier to animate it or just, you know, makes the flow better, right, for the game experience. So that she jumps up in heaven basically immediately, I think she's like, well, that's just how it works because it's easier, right, to make it kind of flow for the game player. I don't know, bro. I think it's like, but it's a little bit like that. I mean, you don't have anything to compare it to, because you only have the other Empyreans, and we haven't seen them get in the Elden Ring and how it will affect them. I mean, honestly, the game would definitely be more interesting if you could, give the Elden Ring to like Millennia or something. If you could spread it around or something. Yeah, if you could do some other endings with those characters. I always find it strange, like the whole Miquela needle and the Francis Flame thing and so on. That to me always felt very weird, because you use it, of course, to burn down the tree, and then you can free yourself from the burning thing with the needle, but that doesn't actually lead you to a new ending. That to me, honestly, is not a mistake in Elden Ring. That by far the longest and most hardest quests and hardest bosses are obviously to get the needle, but like I said, then getting the needle doesn't actually give you a new ending. It doesn't actually lead anywhere. It just makes you not having to have another ending. It just blocks you from having another ending. Yeah, but that's a maiden thing. But see, this is what I mean again here. I don't think you can use that as an argument. It's like, well, Rani and Melina rise Torrent, but it's like a waifu thing, you know? I see that more as, that's just some, that's my girlfriend coming home, you know? And I don't see that as like a meaningful message. To me, a lot of this is like, yeah, that's just a game thing, you know? That's just like a way to show some kind of, let's get married, waifu or something. I think a lot of these things people say about Elden Ring is a lot of early interpretations of stuff that may not actually mean anything. Because again, for me that doesn't mean anything. For me that's just like, well, that's just a waifu thing. So there's a hot lady coming here on a horse, you know. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't really mean that they're the chosen one or something. I don't know. I feel it's a little bit like, I think it's kind of far-fetched, honestly. Because I feel that's like more a visual thing than doesn't have an actual deep lore on it. But see, this is something that this we say right now here. This I think is a great example of something I don't think actually means anything, honestly. I don't think it means anything, because you're saying that, oh, these faces line up. You're taking Rani and Melina, you take the two figures and they line up. This is something I don't think actually has any value on, honestly. You know why? I'm thinking it from a production standpoint, right? For me, it's more like this. If I have to spend 10 hours making this figure to this size, I take another one, I can do this thing. Woo, you know. I think that means nothing. I'm sorry, I think actually that means nothing, because to me, that's just telling me that the developer is using the same 3D model, right, for both characters. I think you have to be really worried about that kind of stuff, saying that this means something, that you can take the two 3D models and they can overlap or something. Because for me, that is just straight up like, that's how it always is in video games, right? Because when you make a video game, if you can reuse a 3D model for another character, for example, then you have this waifu in this game, and then she's like blue skinned, then you make a red skinned waifu, but they actually have the exact same 3D model. You just change their skin right, and maybe a little bit in their face, but the actual body shape, their everything that is actually the same, right? Everything is actually the same. You add some arm, but generally it's the same body. That's how you do it, because then you spend, way less time on the budget, right? You spend time. So in almost every game, it's gonna have that thing where the body is overlapping because, well, yeah, of course, because it's way less production time. So that's what I mean. I don't think that means anything at all when you're saying that, oh, but these two characters have the same model, or these two characters are the same height or whatever. Of course you are, again, because that's cheaper. So I think it's like, well, that's not in actual lore. That is something that the game does because it's cheaper. You do see the giant hand though in that game though. You see the bigger thing. But I don't know. But it's kind of what I mean. I think a lot of people do this interpretation of stuff that isn't in the actual game. And I think that, honestly, to me, is a really good example of that, because there's a lot of stuff in video games where you're like, what does this thing mean? Why are they the same size? Or this here mechanic is called this thing, but yeah, that might be an oversight. It's a bug or something. No, that actually should be the wrong thing. There's so many examples of that, but I mean, the last game I worked on, right? Most like enemies, most not enemies, but most playable characters, so most units, or redone from previous units, right? You know what I mean? So it's like 6-7 characters to have the exact same like mesh and model and skeleton. If anything, they have the same skeleton, the same like rigged skeleton. Like you find the same skeleton on like probably 30-40 units in that game because it's like so much cheaper, right? So it's like from a production standpoint, you're gonna find that of course these 7 waifus in the game are actually all the same body shape, right? They have the exact same OPPAI size, you know what I mean? They have the exact same size. If you actually go into it, it's like, they have the exact same, and they're all big titty ladies, yeah, because it's the same model all over again, right? So it's a little bit like that. It's a little bit like, people always make fun of Oda in One Piece because he has the same character all the time. It's just like blue-haired Nami, red-haired Nami, green-haired Nami, pink-haired Nami. But it's a little bit like that, right? Because he probably just reuses the Nami drawing to like make the same face, right? So Oda is either like generic hot character, right? Oda is like, he either makes, like hourglass figure lady with basically the same proportions, like 5, or like a really weird fat lady, yeah. Like, nothing in between, right, But he does that, yeah, he does that. And it's probably mostly because he's just like, well, it's easier. I'm just reusing the Nami drawing, the Nami sketch for Vivi or whatever. It goes faster, right? So that's why Nami and Vivi almost have the exact same proportions, yeah. It's like, her forehead is bigger, but they basically have the exact same body shape, right? And their faces are different, yeah. Like, he's reduced the faces. Because obviously it takes like way less time, right? And people don't hate thinking of that, but it's just like a very basic to do, right? They all have the same body shape. So, but that's even more so than in an actual, game production, right? Because in a game production, you're gonna, as I said, you have the model, you have 3D model. So if you make a female character's model, right, in a video game, now you can reuse that every time, right, for everyone else. So it's just way cheaper to do that over and over again. That reminds me of that here lastly. Reminds me of a very funny thing. Pokemon, right? I mean, they did it many years ago. But Pokemon Sun and Moon is it? Yeah, sorry, Sun and Moon, right? When they made Sun and Moon, they're so bad. I mean, I have this hate thing for Pokemon, right? For the actual, not Pokemon, but for the company, Game Freak, yeah. So Game Freak are so incompetent. They've been there for like 20 years. But when they made Sun and Moon, this is one of the dumbest things I've seen in my life, right? So instead of having Lily, the female main character, or the real main character on Sun and Moon, right? When she appears in the video game, instead of having the same model, right? Because this is Lily walking here on the screen, right? Instead of having her, the same model used more than once. So, for example, when Lily is walking in the home village, and then you meet her at the volcano, those are 2 different models. Instead of being the same model, even though it's the same person, right? And so in that game, they have like over 700 lilies for some reason. Like, it's the worst coding ever. It's so stupid. Game Freak are so incompetent. Because normally you would have the same, 3D model, right? Reused over and over again with the same clothes. And then maybe you would have changed the clothing, right? So you have like 4 or 5 different ones at most. But you would still have the same 5 then over and over again, right? But in that game, they create a new one. Like, so in the data file, in the stack of the code, right? In the memory, it's like a new file every time. So it's like, it's like 730 lilies in the data files, which of course means that the memory becomes bigger. And the reason, right, why Sun and Moon is so laggy is because the memory of the game never removes this. So the further you get into the storyline, the more the memory will be like occupied by lilies. So you have less and less raw memory, right? Yeah. So you have less and less like freedom, and that means the loading takes more time. And it also includes every other character, not just Lily. So the more you play the game, the more it lags, and there's no fix for this thing because the game doesn't flush the memory. So it's so bad. It's so incredibly bad. And when what was it? Pokemon Sword and Shield or whatever. Or now when that was coming out, and they were like, "Oh, we have to remove half the Pokemons because it's so much time." I was like, "They probably suck at coding." I was like, "No, this is probably just Game Freak being unable to like do it correctly because they're so bad at their jobs." But it's a great example of how not to do it, right? Normally you reuse the same model, like I said earlier, over and over again. But not Game Freak. No. They're like 700 different models looking the same. They all look the same though. Yeah, it's like 700 copies of the same thing. It's so stupid. Like imagine if you take it something more realistic, right? Imagine you're gonna drive a car, right? You know, you're gonna drive a car to work, right? Game Freak is like, instead of having the same car you drive every day, yeah, they're like, we have to buy a new car every day. we have to buy a new car. We can't use the same car. No. We have this Ferrari, we drive it one day, then we sell it to buy a new Ferrari. Then we drive it, sell it. That's kind of how they write code. Yeah, so they're just using the same car over and over again, and they maybe have to replace the car eventually. But you know, they're like, no. It's like it's once used, then we have to get rid of it. It's so terrible. It's so stupid. But like I said, normally then, except Game Freak, you would reuse the same Ferrari over and over again, and that's why I think so at least when you look at Rani and Melina, and they have the same OPPAI size or whatever, and they have the same eye size and stuff, it's because it's the same Ferrari with different colors, right? Because it's easier for the game developer. So they have the same Ferrari, it's in blue or it's white, right? And they do this thing with it because it's much cheaper than having to build two Ferraris. They have built one Ferrari, and then they changed the color on it. Well, that's course. But the artists have to play the game to know what to draw, right? The artists have to get inside the game to know what to draw. But anyway, that's a long Elden Ring spin-off now here. But yeah, in the next video, in a few hours, later tonight, I'm gonna drop my Elden Ring tier list. It's gonna be the best tier list ever, guys. We're gonna go over every boss in DLC, and be super serious, and I'll be like, this boss is too easy, it's too hard. We're gonna judge them, and I know people are gonna get angry, and it's gonna be super funny. But yeah, but even if Elden Ring has a lot of weird characters, I'm sure they are reusing a few models for every character. I think it's like they have 5-6 models, and you can see that sometimes. But the thing is that a lot of the stuff on the character are fluff on the outside, right? Like stuff on the outside are not actual rid characters, so it's like a skin outside the model. So there's a lot of stuff you can do about that, how you make it better. But anyway, yeah, see you guys in the Elden Ring tier list video. It's gonna be hilarious. I know people get so angry at me. People are gonna be like, how can you rate this boss harder? It's always funny because there's like